Each and every person, whether it is a boy, whether it is a girl, whether it is a man, whether it is a woman, each and every person wants to understand and probe into the secrets of nature. That how Almighty has made this world, how Almighty has made this universe, how Almighty has made the humans, what is our origin, from where we are made. And we know clearly that our origin is a drop of water, is a drop of a sperm. We know very clearly. But who said this to us? Who gave this information to us? That was science. Why not Quran? If you will read the Quran, all the things which are in the science, all that very things, all that very facts, all the knowledge is mentioned in the Quran. If you are a good Muslim, then you should read the Quran. You must read the Quran because you are a Muslim. And when you will read the Quran, when you will understand the Quran, Almighty Allah has mentioned a lot of things, all the things which are in your mind, which you are seeing in this generation, which you are seeing in this era, which is given to us by science, that all very things are mentioned in the Quran. How? Now you will tell me, you will ask me, then how that very things are mentioned in the Quran. There are so many facts and there are so many references, there are so many chapters in the Quran in which Allah is discussing about this universe, in which Allah is discussing about all that very facts which the science is showing us in this era. Now, I am going to tell you about a reference, about a topic about embryology, which is upon embryology. And if anybody will ask you that was embryology, you will simply say embryology is the branch of biology which deals with the development of an embryo. But why I am telling you about embryology? If you are listening me or watching me, why? Because I want to tell you about embryology because the science is telling us, science is declaring, science is telling all the things which are present in the embryology, that how a baby is formed, how an embryo is formed, how a fetus is formed in the mother's uterus. How? The science is telling us in this very era. In 17th century, from 17th century, science is showing these all things. But what about Quran? Allah has mentioned all these things in 7th century and we are reading all that very thing in these present centuries like 17th century, 18th century, 21st century. But if you will read the Quran, all the things, all the facts about the universe, about the humans are mentioned in the Quran before so many centuries. In 7th century, not 17th century, in 7th century. Means if we are Muslims, then the knowledge which the science is showing us is these centuries, we the Muslims have knowledge before so many centuries as compared to science. So now, what is embryology? I have already told you it's the branch of biology which deals with the development of an embryo and how an embryo is formed when fertilization takes place. Firstly, if you will discuss according to science, what science is telling about these all things. A very famous scientist, Aristotle, a famous scientist who said that a fetus is formed from a mother's uterus, where the Greeks and Europeans said that the fetus is from the menstrual blood. And so many other scientists, not Aristotle, not only Greeks and Europeans, there are a lot of scientists who gave their different thoughts, who gave their different concepts. For example, if you will give an example, like Aristotle, who was telling that a fetus is formed from the uterus of a mother, and so many other scientists said that the fetus is formed with the help of an ovum, with the help of a sperm, and it created a big contradiction between the scientists at that time. Because some were telling something different, some were telling something different, and so many other scientists gave their own concept. But that very all concept, that all concepts was not applicable, was not acceptable. Because we want only one thing, only one clue, only one reason behind the development of an embryo. And finally, 1775, a scientist whose name was Sapienza, he ended this contradiction by mentioning the importance of both the sperm and ovum. He mentioned that an embryo is formed with both sperm and ovum. He showed the importance of the birth, sperm and ovum. He said that without the help of the ovum, sperm is incomplete, and without sperm, ovum is incomplete. And if these two things are incomplete, the fertilization is incomplete. And if the fertilization is incomplete, the coming generation is incomplete, the coming embryo is incomplete. And he said that for the formation of an embryo, for the formation of a baby, both the sperm and the ovum plays a very important and crucial role. Now, if I will conclude it, I will simply say that the fertilization is a thing in which sperm and ovum meets together and forms an embryo. And it results in the formation of a baby passing from lot of stages like gastrula, like neurula, and the formation of skeleton system takes place. And you know what happens, what the science is telling? Just remember, I am going to tell you a relation. I am going to show a relation between the Quran and science. Firstly, I am telling about the science, that what science is telling us about the embryonization, about the embryology, and after that I will tell you what the Quran is telling about these all things. Firstly, if we will discuss according to science, the science is telling when an embryo is formed, it passes from lot of stages like gastrula, like neurula, and during the pregnancy, what happens? The process or the formation of bones take place in the 5th week of the pregnancy. The formation of the muscles take place. The formation of the flesh takes place. The formation of the joint takes place. And after that, when these all processes are happened in this pregnancy, then after that a baby is formed. Now what the Quran is telling about these all things. If you will read the Quran in Surah Al-Mu'minun, in ayat number 14, Allah is telling about the production of an embryo. Now how? Just listen.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ثم خلقنا النطفة علقة فخلقنا العلقة مضغة فخلقنا المضغة عظاما فكسونا العظام لحما ثم أنشأناه خلقا آخر فتبارك الله أحسن الخالقين.
Now what is the meaning of this ayah? What Allah is mentioning in the ayah? Just listen. Allah is telling, then we made the sperm drop into a clinging clot. And we made the clot into a lump of flesh. And we made from the lump bones, and we covered the bones with flesh, as I have already told you that the science is telling that the formation of bones and muscles take place in the 5th week of pregnancy. And what Allah is telling in this ayah, Allah is telling that and we made from the lump bones and we covered the bones with flesh, then we developed him into another creation. So Allah is the best creator. In the last verse, Allah is telling that فَتَبَارَكَ اللَّهُ أَحْسَنُ الْخَالِقِينَ. What it means? It means that so blessed is Allah, the best creator. Which means Allah is the best creator. Nobody in this world is better than Allah. And it's obvious, we have no doubt that Allah is the best creator. Allah is one who is the creator of this whole universe, and nobody in this world is able to create a man. So Allah is the best creator. We are not able to make, we are not able to create a human, a baby, but anything which we are creating, like a chair, like a table, that where things are not a miracle, that where things are not a big fact. Allah is the big. Allah is the one who is the best creator among all. There is a one creator, and that is Allah. So Quran is the greatest miracle. We are Muslims. All the discoveries which the science is showing us, that all are mentioned in the Quran. Like I shall tell you in Surah An-Najm, Allah is telling that min nutfatin iza tumna, we produce the male and the female from a drop of sperm when it is emitted, like fertilization. Now tell me, if we will read the Quran, we will gasp more of knowledge.
Thoughts by comment.
We have no need to go through the science. I'm not telling science is wrong. Science is showing, science is declaring all the things, science is describing all the things, that how processes takes place. But before the science, we are the Muslims, and we need to go through the Quran, because all the discoveries, all the things, all the facts are mentioned in the Quran, and Quran is the big miracle. So go through the Quran. Firstly, read the Quran and after that go through the science. So if you will read the Quran, Allah will help you. Allah will do each and everything according to you. So at last I want to convey this message. I only want to say this, that firstly you have to correlate Quran and science, as I am correlating the Quran and science and showing you that what is the relation between Quran and the science. So Quran is the greatest miracle. Quran is the solution of each and every question. If you want to find the solution of any question, that is Quran. Just read the Quran. Just read the Quran. And inshallah, I hope that you will read the Quran. I will also read the Quran. May Almighty Allah bless us. May Almighty Allah be pleased with you all, with me. And read the Quran. Read the Quran. Read the Quran.
If you will want to get more videos related to the Quran and the science and knowledgeable videos, so stay connected and subscribe to the channel.